I can't help but be racist. It's true.
I wish my fucking foot would go right through your skull.
Everybody can see the messages, Anthony. It's just that only subs for 24 hours can send them. It's how we get rid of the trolls.
That's a huge bitch!
no offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
All right, fellas and filettis, welcome to the show. Welcome to Cabinet Games for the 20th of December. It is nice to see you all. This is one of those days, I'll tell you what that music was and why I was playing it in just a second, but this is one of those days where you get a lot of letters from companies and people you sub to on YouTube saying, hey, we're shutting down for Christmas. And I like that time of year. Something cozy about that. Something kind of feels like people semi-hibernating. Now, I'm not going to be fucking hibernating. I'm here for you. I'm here. I love streaming. I'll be streaming all through the season, on and off. It's going to be difficult because we're not going to have as much actual proper news. So we'll probably, I don't know. I got to figure out what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do. I'm sure there'll be news like Jaffe stream news, but game-wise, maybe we'll play some... Hell, it may be time to dust off some of the old games I played when I was a tester and see if I can still make it through Hook. And I don't know. We'll figure something out. But my volume is really low. Is that right? I don't think so. But if it is, I can turn it up. How's that? Volume's good. Yeah, no, I know. Darth says us working class of the lower middle do not get such a hibernation. No, I know. I understand. And that's what I'm saying. So... you know, I like the fact that we can still stream and hang out and stuff like that, whether you're working or not. So I'll be doing stuff over the break. But again, what it is, I don't know, because there's not going to be a lot of news. Maybe we'll do some Let's Reads. I'll take suggestions from you guys. I know we're doing a pot and popcorn this weekend. And so that'll be... some horror. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'll talk to you guys about it probably tomorrow. I haven't figured it out yet. But anyway, yeah, so that's happening. But I like that. I got like Colin Moriarty. If you subscribe to his Patreon, he sent this real nice letter to everybody, all the Patreon members saying, hey, you know, we're shutting down for the year, but thanks for everything, and giving us a State of the Union. I thought that was really cool. And video game companies are doing the same. Depending on how long the stream goes, at the end of it, we'll be looking at Christmas holiday cards to kick off the season here. But what you were listening to at the beginning was, yes, it was Star Wars Outlaws music, which really was one of my favorite soundtracks of the year. But the reason I bring it up is because VGC ran an article today that was showing the best music of 2024 for games chosen by actual music composers. And so it was really interesting. They, you know, there was like 60 or 50 different composers they reached out to. And I went through, I had ChatGPT go through, and I wanted to see which games kind of had the most votes, basically, which ones appeared the most. Because basically what happened was everybody picked their number one, and then that was it, right? So, you know, a lot of them got one mentions, like Tekken 8 was there, Still Wakes the Deep, Splatoon 3, Marvel Rivals was there. But then you get up into the two mentions. Wilmot Works It Out, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is there, two different composers, great soundtrack. Silent Hill 2 was mentioned twice. Legend of Zelda was mentioned twice. But the top four, each of them getting 3 mentions. Number 4 was Helldivers 2. 3 composers felt that was the best music of the year. Number 3 mentions. It's all tied for number 1. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got 3 mentions. Number 2, Astrobot got 3 mentions. And number 1, or again, they're all number 1 or number 4, depending on how you do it. But they're all tied for number 1. Star Wars Outlaws got 3 mentions as well. So Star Wars Outlaws, Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Astrobot. Star Wars Outlaws and indie I've been listening to on their own. They're excellent. Astrobot's good. I like it a lot, but it's not something I like to have in the background. I have not listened to Helldivers. I'm surprised Zelda Echoes of Wisdom appeared as much as it did, or Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 had phenomenal ambiance and sound design, but the music itself, I was just like, I barely even, was there even music in the damn thing? Astrobot got 3 mentions for Best Music, Cosmic Bandito, and I think it also won the Game Award the other night as well. Okay, I'll check out the Star Wars game soundtrack, says Da Vinci. Yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, what I was playing just then was from Outlaws. So if you like that, then you know you'll be happier than a pig in shit, basically. Silent Hill 2 got 0 awards, but Bloober Team might be working on 3 and 1, says Godslayer. I'm sure they are. I mean, well, I don't know if actually, you know what? It's an interesting question, and we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes their new some concept art and information dropped on their new game today. And they actually said about 6 months ago that Silent Hill 2, now obviously things may have changed, but they're like, we're moving away from the slower paced walking simulator horror games, probably just because there's no money in it. And they're moving more towards RE4 type stuff. And you see that in, I think it's called Chronos, their new game. So I'm wondering, given that Silent Hill 2 did well, very well critically, and then did well in sales, but it wasn't some monster. I wonder if they would, you know, maybe they'll sign back up for it because it's a safe bet. They'll at least get paid and they can ask for more money and stuff. But I wonder what Konami's thinking at this point. Like, I don't know how much it cost to make it, but my guess would be that it wasn't anywhere close to being a Resident Evil 4 or remake or RE2 remake or whatever. But yeah, it did like Dead Space numbers, Godslayer, although you're talking about Chronos, but yeah. Okay. I have a goal tonight, says Anthony, to get Kajina to call in. I've been trying for an hour. I mean, if she wants to, is she even watching? If she wants to call in, she call in. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. She, you know, you saw her yesterday. She's just kind of like, I don't have anything to say. Whatever. Point being, though, there you go. Good, Jaffe. What a great point. Point being, Monday, by the way, as Christmas holiday swings in, Victor Lucas and I will be but we'll be talking about I think he said it's his game of the year, and it's definitely up there for me. It may be my game of the year, Indiana Jones and The Great Circle. We will be doing a deep dive in, there'll be spoilers, although we'll let you know when the spoiler section starts. If you haven't played it, we'll talk gameplay, we'll talk the franchise, we'll talk what we liked and didn't like and what the future may hold for Indy, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a good conversation. But I will say I was playing it today on stream and I got to a puzzle and I was so fucking frustrated. Because it was the first time in the game that I hit a puzzle where I was like, wait a minute, I like that this game is real puzzly, but what the fuck do I do? And I didn't want to use any hints. And so I was streaming it, but I ended up moving the chat off my screen. I didn't want any help because I wanted to see how long it would take me to get. And finally, I was like, fuck it, I got to use the camera. If you don't know, Indy has a camera, and what you use it for usually is, you know, it's how you kind of collect things. You collect photographs, a lot of other things too, but one of the things you collect are photographs of interesting archaeological relics and whatnot. And in doing so, you get adventure points, and adventure points you can use to upgrade parts of your character, stronger punches, faster reloads, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But you can also use the camera if you're stuck on a puzzle and you aim it at the puzzle. You can go, hey, do you want to use the camera for a hint? And each puzzle has, I guess, about 4 hints before it just pretty much tells you what to do. And yeah, Ghost in the chat says it's an easy puzzle. It took me a minute tops. It is an incredibly easy puzzle. But the problem, because I eventually just used the camera, it's not that I felt dumb. Because, yeah, Lucas says, how did it make you feel? I felt dumb once I figured it out. I didn't feel dumb at all. I felt more like I blamed the game. Because, like, I'm not going to give the puzzle away at all, but they presented you with, a lot of information, and it was one of those things where it was like, okay, is this going to be like a real fucking puzzle? Because it's late in the game, you know, where I've got to kind of look at, like, you know, code breaking and look at like, okay, if this letter, if A is really 7, then roll the wheel back 6 spaces and then every other letter goes, but you know, that's where my head was going. And it turned out all it was, without me fucking spoiling anything, is the answer was so clear. It was simply a visual cue issue where you were supposed to look when you did the most obvious thing, which I did almost right away, was like, oh shit, I didn't, you know, it's not like I love this game, but that was one where I was like, "Are you real? Are you shitting me?" It's like that's asking just for somebody to glance at the right thing when you're directing their eye totally somewhere else. So I'm kind of annoyed by that. But overall, though, I adore it. Matthew says video game puzzles have to be pretty easy unless it's an actual puzzle game. I think, Matthew, that's why this game is so compelling to me, is that it is actually, you know, I mean, I'm not saying this is like I've said before, it's not like The Witness from Jonathan Blow or anything, but it feels very much like a point-and-click adventure game in terms of the difficulty or semi-difficulty of the puzzles compared to what most people are used to calling puzzles in games today. And so this one actually isn't bone stupid and bone simple, which I guess is why when I came upon this one, you know, if I was playing Uncharted, I go, okay, there's no way they're going to put a puzzle like that, like what I thought it was, in an Uncharted game. There's no way they would do that. But since this game has had some puzzles that were like, oh, let me think, oh, okay, that's clever. I assumed, okay, that's where we're going. And, you know, it was not at all. And I spent like 45 minutes just staring at the fucking screen. But, you know, I dug it. The game has another puzzle I thought was much harder, says Ghost. It sounds like Ghost is saying that, and so is Charles Darwin. He says, wait until the next major level. I'm a certified puzzle grandmaster, and I got stuck on one set of puzzles. Yeah. I don't mind getting stuck, and then you have an aha moment. I mind getting stuck like today, and then you have a moment of, okay, well, that's not my fault. That's bullshit. Nathan says, everything in each puzzle is there for a reason. It wasn't an accident there were 2 rows of text. I understand that. I'm just saying that the way it was presented, I'll talk about this with Victor more, but let's just say part of my frustration was the interface playing with a controller, because it's this machine that's you've got very finite sections that you have to select which section you want. And sometimes you'll select the wrong thing just by barely touching the stick in the wrong direction, the analog stick. And so it'll cause something to happen that will then create an obstruction to the visual that you're talking about. And it's just like, yeah, come on, man. That's bullshit. But anyway, it's good stuff. I love it. We'll be talking on Monday. Alex says, can I join you and Victor? No, you can call in. Members can call in, but no, you certainly may not. I don't mean to be a dick, Alex, but you've not earned the right to sit on a phone call with me and fucking Victor Lucas and talk about the guy. I mean, you just haven't. Isn't that a terrible thing to say to somebody around Christmas especially? But it's true. It's fucking true. It's like, look, I'm me. You're here. You know who I am. You know Victor. Yeah, let's just bring this random guy Alex in. Hey, Victor, come on now. But you can call in. We'd love to hear from you. Absolutely, Alex. Or go, do something this weekend that makes people go, I want to hear what Alex has to say. Alex made me. What do you mean justice for Alex? Yeah, you're right, Gabriel. You're not wrong. Okay. Let's begin the show. Shall we? Oh, again, like I said, I'll be doing stuff all Christmas season, Hanukkah season, New Year's. I'm going to celebrate with my family and stuff, but we'll have a Christmas special. I'll do something New Year's, not Eve, but something New Year's Eve day and sometime Christmas Day. I'll be around. So stop by, swing by if you want, play some games, talk games, shoot the shit, what have you. Okay. Hello, Jot. Why can't I be on the call with the president, Jaffe? You can, I guess, if they want you to be. Look at this. Speaking of members, actually this isn't. I got this from Eddie Torres. He tweeted it. But I didn't even know this because I did play X Defiant, which has been canceled. But I didn't know this map was in there. Check this out. This is cool. And I liked X Defiant, but nowhere near as much as I like the new Call of Duty. So it was never going to be something that I played seriously. But yeah, check it out. There's a Rayman level in this fucking shooter. It's just like a minute video clip. But look at this fucking thing. It looks awesome. I mean, come on, that's cool, man. I'm not saying it's fun or not fun. I haven't played this map, but that's kind of fun. It sucks to shut a game down. I've had to shut a game down, a service-based game, a couple of times, and it's not fun. And they're saying, what did I read today? They're releasing all the stuff for season 3, but they're also including a bunch of releases of stuff that they had already had prepared up until season 8. When you make a game like this, you prepare. You're like, oh, what's our Halloween event? What's our Christmas event? And with our game, our last game, Drawn to Death, we had that prepared. I remember Andrea was designing certain levels with all the Christmas decorations and stuff, and we had Christmas skins, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And we couldn't even make it to like the first major holiday. I think we had like an Easter event, and then we were dead within like midsummer. I think we had a 4th of July event, and that was it. But yeah, I think it's really cool. But yeah, it'll be neat to see what they had planned. But cost money to run this shit, and if you don't hit the target, you're out of biz, or at least your game's out of biz. So, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. So, thanks to Eddie Torres for bringing this to my attention. What happened to getting the chat on the side, Jaffe? I will be doing it. Maybe I'll try to do it right now. I mean, it's right there, right? You guys, you okay with this screen? You all right with this screen? If you are, I'll just leave this. I'll leave this as is, at least for the moment, unless you guys complain about it. But. Slide Away says, I thought X Defiant was pretty legit. Yeah, it was absolutely legit. It was good. I don't like it, though, as much as Call of Duty, and that was the thing. Once Call of Duty came out on Game Pass and it was kind of, quote, free, I don't think they stood a chance, because that was their biggest, unique selling point, was that they are a free-to-play shooter that has the modes of Call of Duty, unlike, it's not just extraction and Battle Royale and all that stuff. It's okay, but the fireplace backdrop is worth no chat. Okay, so when I do go to the big screen, it'll just be the background. I'll do the layout for the next show. I'm not going to deal with it right now, though. IGN has said the game of the year for IGN is Metaphor ReFantazio, which I really want to play this game. I don't know when I'm going to find the time, but that's something most people can agree on. I think a lot of people who say that this is a game, a lot of times they're like, oh, we hate IGN shit, they're not to be trusted, blah, blah, blah. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good one. I think a lot of people would agree that this is, if it's not your game of the year, I think most people can respect this being game of the year, right? So I'm looking forward to spending some real time with it. I know, speaking of Gina, I know you guys are saying Gina is going to call in. I know she's kind of an RPG head. She likes the RPGs. I'm very curious. I know she hasn't played this yet, but I'm curious if this is on her radar. And, maybe, I don't know. What is this, like a 120-hour game, though? Come on, man. I can't. I mean, unless the game's super fucking compelling, then yeah. But, man, that's a long fucking game, man. It's a long fucking game. Looks like not enough people played Nine Souls, says Slide Away. Yeah, that's true. But it is now out on Game Pass, so maybe that will up its cred and stuff. I plan on at least messing around with it. Wayne B said he reached 70 hours. Warrior of God says he's a JRPG fanatic. It took him 70. Bearskin says I 100%ed the game in 90 hours. Good God Almighty. Okay, well, cool. Then I should play it. I need to make a list of just what I'm going to play. But if I stream tonight, I'm not sure if I'm streaming games tonight. If I do, and we'll talk about that in a second. I put a video up earlier, but I found a game, and not everybody agrees with my thesis statement, but I found a game that is super gory and super sexy, and it makes me just kind of look at these grifters that are like, they don't make games the way they used to. And it makes me laugh at them and go, you guys are a bunch of fucking liars, because they totally make those kind of games. You're just looking in the wrong place. Is it possible to mainline games, says Slide Away, like ReFantazio? I'm sure it is, but at that point, why even play it, right? I mean, I don't know. It's good. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hear you. Like Indiana Jones, I'm playing, and I have a feeling, or I have a desire at the moment to go back, and I don't know if I'll 100% it, but I like a lot of this little side quest. I have a feeling I'm going to spend some real time in there after I finish the main game, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. So you see only 15% of Steam users played games released this year, says PK99. Yeah. And the average Steam user only played 4 games this year. I mean, the idea of, the customer's experience seems so counter to game developers as it relates to the length of games or the kinds of games or the money they spend on games. It's a lot, you know, compared to me. I did like 160 fucking games, you know. Brad Glasgow says 15% of Steam of player hours were spent in games this year. Right. So he's not saying, yeah, so the data's a little off, but it's still a lot of people playing stuff that's keeping them satisfied from years past. Tones Mick says 2024 is one of the best years in gaming. Don't understand people saying the year was weak. But it wasn't. It was a great year for games. It was an excellent year for games. It's just that, you know, a lot of people don't play everything, right? Okay, but yes, I'll show you the Booby Warrior game. And also we're going to talk about Amy Hennig's game. I think I've cracked the code. I've cracked the nut. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I think I know exactly what that game is going to be, or at least not exactly, but I'm a lot closer, and I don't think it's what a lot of people are expecting, although I think it's exciting, and if she can actually pull off what I think she's doing, it would be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. So, okay, let's move on. Oh, I want to tell you one more thing. I was watching Luke Stevens this morning, and he was in the background. I was doing some editing and some Photoshop stuff. And this is what happens when you have ADD, okay? So I'm watching this, and he's talking about E3 reveals, and he brings up the E3 reveal when Corey showed off God of War 2018. And let me just show you this real quick. Just this little, it's like a 45-second clip, and then I want to tell you why my entire day got pushed back by about 45 minutes, okay? Here we go.
Nothing had really leaked. You can see Cory Barlog down there.
Oops, let me get rid of my face. Hang on.
He is playing the game live. They actually show his hands on the controller.
Here you go, right here.
In front of him. And they're like, this is a real...
I'm very confused. With that, like,
He's the tone they're going.
Where is it? Where'd it go?
And part of the thing with that era, 80s films in front of him, and they're like, this is a real woke, whatever. Some people just honestly didn't find it that compelling and think it's just not a very good reveal. And that, I think, is perfectly justified and very, very reasonable. How I think what Joe Raptor said was really, really good. He compared it to the reveal of the reboot of God of War back in 2016. And at this event, you know, they had music that happened, and it's kind of cringe or whatever. But then they lead it into this, a live stage demo. And nobody knew that they were, I mean, there were rumors, maybe they were rebooting God of War or something, but nothing had really leaked. You can see Cory Barlog down there. He is playing the game live. They actually show his...
Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So in that moment, Corey down there at the bottom, he looks at the camera. Oh, you can't hear it. It's fine. It's you don't need to hear it. It's irrelevant. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat, but thank you guys. Because here's the point. I'm surprised that was so low, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Is down here at the bottom, you see Corey. Corey looks to the camera, and then he does this thing with his eyebrows where he smiles and he makes his eyebrows go boop, boop, like two little, you know. And I was looking at that, and I have a mirror right here next to me to my right, and I was like, I don't think I can do that. And I must have spent, maybe not 4, I must have spent 30 minutes looking in the mirror trying to fucking will my muscles here. Like, I can do this, right? Now you're all trying it. I get it. I can do this, right? But I can't smile. Oh, now I'm too loud on the stream. Jesus Christ, you guys. I don't ever change these fucking things. How's that? I don't ever smile and then do the eyebrows. Like, I can't do it, right? I don't have the people's eyebrow. Like, I can't do that either. I can't do the rock thing. I can't do the thing where I go, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Right? It's just like, I can do this, but look how he does it so fast, and he's smiling. So he's got these muscles going, and he's got that. Can't do it. Can't do it. Must be a Barlog thing. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Can you guys do it? Gina, are you going to call in? Can you call in and do it for us? What's the deal? It doesn't matter. Okay, show it again. Okay, I'll show it again. Here you go. I'll turn up the volume now, I guess. I mean, it should be up, but Let me fix it real quick. I know my sound is Poo Poo Productions. Poo Poo Productions. All right. That's why I never made it in Hollywood. Man, maybe. That and I couldn't write a script to save my fucking life. Those two things will do it for you. Here you go. Let me get my face out of the way. Okay, he's right there in the corner. Even if you're not listening to what Luke is saying, it doesn't matter. Watch his eyebrows now.
Hands on the camera.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
He is playing the game
Right
live. Here. They actually show.
See that? See that? He did a double. He did a double sow cow. He did a double eyebrow raise, and he smiled.
He is playing the game live. They actually
boop,
show
boop.
his.
I can't do it. Can't do it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that's why I was a little bit late. He's reptilian. Okay. Xbox is trash, says Megadavo. Megadavo is 8 years old and got his mom a credit card. If you're going to spend money to write that, sure, Xbox is trash. I don't know. We're going to talk about that in just a second, actually. You have the ability to see the future, my good friend. It took me about 30 minutes to realize I was wasting my time, right? And I probably had just taken my Concerta, my ADD meds. And so probably what was happening is by the time I realized I was wasting my time, it was because my meds had fully kicked in, is probably what it was. I'd love to get like a sex worker who's a gamer. It's true. Okay. Oh, wow, says Darth. I can do it with the one eyebrow, but not a double lift that quick. Right. That's Corey's biggest contribution. Forget God of War. Forget whatever his new game. It's the fact that he can fucking do that shit. Okay. Let's talk Xbox, Megadavo. I am so fucking confused. And again, it's okay to be confused. I'm not saying this like I want to talk all day about it. I don't. I can just tell you, I don't fucking for the life of me. Hang on. I don't for the life of me understand what in the cockadoodie fuck is going on. Okay? This is the Xbox trailer that they just put out. I'm just going to turn the volume down because it doesn't matter. It's just music and whatever. And this is a great trailer. If you're rolling into Christmas, you want to sell Xboxes, this is pretty good. It's like, hey man, and they don't even mention Game Pass, which is stupid. But they're like, look at these fucking things. Call of Duty and Indie and Stalker 2 and coming soon, Avowed. Nothing good footage. It's really hard to capture fucking footage, by the way. Sometimes you'd spend all day making videos just for ads and shit. There are people who do that for a living, but I was obsessed, so I would sometimes go, let me get the footage. But anyway, nowhere on here does it say Game Pass, whatever. Nowhere on here does it say exclusives, because they're not, I guess, really, but or at least coming first to Xbox. And then on top of it, you've got this company that less than a month ago was like, everything's an Xbox, right? And this is a company that's now sending the message that basically everything for the most part is going to other places, not just PlayStation or not just Xbox. It's going to be, exclusives are for the most part dead, or at least that's the message that's getting sent out there, okay? And even Xbox kind of reporter types like Jez Corden and stuff said that as well. And I'm just, I do not understand what in the fuck is happening with this company. And again, Xbox is my favorite, or Game Pass and Xbox is my favorite console this generation. PC really is, and GeForce Now really is. But compared to PlayStation or Switch or Xbox, even though the games aren't as good, they're starting to get there. But I find just the overall environment really exciting, and it has been all generation. So I'm not an anti-Xbox guy at all. I dig it, and I love Game Pass, as people know who watch the show. But I don't understand what the fuck these people are doing. Everything's an Xbox. You can play it everywhere. Our exclusives will go any and everywhere that'll have us. Oh, hey, buy an Xbox. What? What in the... And again, I'm not saying it like I'm being critical. I'm saying it more like... I'm not trying to do a bit where I'm like, can you believe... Like, what I'm really trying to say is they're terrible, but I'm framing it in this way. Like, it's like, what's going on? I'm literally confused. I don't understand what is going on. Like and again, I don't have to. They don't owe me an explanation of their marketing strategy, but I don't. What is happening with this? Like, where are they going with this? Because this would make me go, you want me to buy a console and buy into an ecosystem that seems to be saying we're no longer going to be exclusive, which means why would I buy your hardware versus buying it on Sony or a PC or stream it? And now you're saying, people are saying we're going to make a handheld, or what I wonder is, are these guys going to be like, is it infighting and nobody knows what's going on? Or is this like a really clever 6D chess that they're playing and I'm just not smart enough to fucking understand it? Because I don't get it. I don't agree with that, PK. PK says you could say the same thing about PlayStation and all their games are on PC except Astrobot. No, because they've come out and said we don't see, analytically, we are not seeing any eating in of our console market by waiting the 6 months or whatever and going to PC. Literally, the CEO or the head of PlayStation said that like 3 weeks ago. So for them, they're just like, hey, it's an extra bite of the apple. But for Xbox, it's like, why would I ever, if all your shit's going to PlayStation, why would I ever buy this hardware? It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. GeForce Now is amazing, says Jod. I've been using it to play indie and it's dope. Right. And then apparently, this is what I'm saying to you guys. Wayne B says you got Darth Nugget to use GeForce Now, and apparently he really likes it. And then Jezbelly is playing on GeForce Now. And I'm just saying, you guys, you know, this is why what needs to happen as soon as possible is some kind of tribute to me, a statue, just more memberships, something where you guys give gratitude and thanks to all that I've done for you. Because who stood in the fire, in the line of fire of the gamers, when you guys were like, no, it will never work. You see, latency in physics will prevent your dream, Jaffe. And I'm like, well, no, you're wrong. Who showed you the way? It wasn't the baby Jesus, it was the baby Jaffe. And but I am really happy to hear that a lot of people are discovering it and they're enjoying it, because it really is like fucking magic, man. It is like fucking magic. There you go. Thank you, Calpy. Calpy says, thanks, Jaffe. GeForce is awesome. See, that makes me feel tingly in the nether regions. You have earned this, Calpy.
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yeah!
All right, hang on. Well, my stars and garters, is that my pal G?
Yeah, we got we were talking.
I don't give a shit. You're in the call-in. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're in the.
What are you doing?
You're in the call-in waiting room. Oh my God. You are in the call-in waiting room. That means you wait to get dragged into the show. If you want to just talk to Andy, just go make a new channel.
No, but I can't see anything.
You can't see anything. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
That's all we need. Well, unless you want to put yourself on camera, you want to call in on camera?
I mean, I was on. Yeah. Well, first of all, Anthony was going to do it with me.
Well, what? Can you not do it by yourself?
I'd rather have people with me.
I mean, sure. If that's what it takes to, good God. Okay, hang on.
I can't.
But
I can't see it. Yeah, no, and I'm having. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, let me send you. I'm going to send you a link. I want to talk to you about some RPGs. Hang on a second. Let me see where I wasn't prepared. I didn't know you would sort of find the courage today, Ramirez. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I see Joe. Joe said he would come on with me as well.
What are you, a baby? Why do you need people? You don't need anybody to come on with you? What the fuck?
I don't have much to say.
You don't need anything to say. I'll work through it with you. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like therapy. Hang on. All right, start collab cam, generate a new link. All right, I'm gonna send this to you in a private message. It may not work though. Let's see if it does. Send you a message. All right, click on this. and let's see if it works. But if not, no worries. We'll figure it out over the holidays. Don't tell me to stop scaring Gina away. She's not a little baby. This woman fucking runs with the... You ever see Swimming with Sharks without the agents in Hollywood? That's what she was. She don't fucking need y'all's fucking protection. I mean, she can have it if she wants it. What's that?
I can take it. I just get louder and I start crying. So
whatever. I don't give a shit. Call in. All right. So are you in? You get the link?
Let me see.
I gave it to you.
I just clicked on it. Okay, so now I just hit this. Okay.
Are you in?
Oh, look, you have a green screen.
Hi, yeah. Show and stream. Let's see. There you are. There you are, bud. Look at you go. Say something.
I'm going to turn off Discord then.
You got to turn off something that's making an echo. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Look at you.
We got it working.
Thank you, Anthony. Anthony fucking is a fucking pro musician. He knows what's up. And it's okay.
Gonna come on with me.
Well, if you need a fucking bodyguard, fucking diva, would you like me to bring on one of your male bodyguards?
If there's more of us, it's more fun.
Okay, well, that's a little personal. I don't really need to hear that. But listen, let's talk a little bit. So you are, and we were talking about this the other day, you are or were a very hardcore gamer. You're not, and this is what always pissed me off, because there's like 6 women I know that, and these guys will, you're a fucking fake gamer. Did any guys ever act like you're a fake gamer?
First of all, they're not allowed to anymore, for sure. But
what do you mean they're not allowed to?
Because I mostly interact with people that I know.
Oh, you mean you won't put up with it? You mean
I won't put up with it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
But in terms of hardcore, I would say, like World of Warcraft is as hardcore as I got. So
yeah, but you were into the lore of everything. You dove deep into the things you loved, and that it always, because like I said, there's like 6 women. You're one of them that I'm like, why do you think men feel, or boys, I should say, why do they feel that women are not, like, what in their heads has occurred to make them go, oh, well, yeah, this is not for women? Why would they think that? Why do you think that is?
So I will say that in my age group, I don't have a lot of girlfriends that are gamers or that like these type of things.
Okay.
So there's some valid argument there.
Well, there's some valid argument that girls don't game. You're gaming. You're a girl.
In my age group. Yeah, in my age group. But yeah, the younger ones are definitely, it's a lot more different now. It's culturally accepted.
Did you ever feel ashamed of being a girl gamer? Like, did you ever hide it?
I wouldn't say I felt ashamed, but it was definitely a weird thing to be back then, I guess. Back
then. You're so funny because, well, you're not funny because I know how old you really are, but you don't look anywhere close to how old you are. So that may be true in the sense that your generation is not that much farther than my generation, but you look like you're what do people tell you? You look like you're like 24?
No, the worst part is that I act really immature too. So,
but you look really young, and I think it's like you suck blood of babies, like the Democrats or something is how you do it.
I'm pretty sure it's like the camera filters and stuff are helping.
Fairly. Okay, fine. Okay, anyway, point being, Metaphor Refantasio. You're an RPG head. You like the RPGs, right?
I do.
Okay,
yes, but
so
I'm not as educated in them.
Is this
that tends to be what I like the most.
Right. So what do you think? Because you've been really busy lately. You've got your own channel going. You're looking at getting into the legal shit. Not like being sued, but I mean moving into that as a career, possibly.
Suing people.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you? And so it's kind of prevented you from doing a lot of gaming. But when you get back into it, do you have a game in mind that you're thinking about?
Yes, I'm gonna play Rebirth.
Oh, right. You already played and you finished Remake. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying. This is a real fucking deal here, you fuckers. Pisses me off. Isn't Jaffe like 75? Go fuck yourself. I wouldn't mind being 75, but I'm a happy 53. A happy 53. What is that book you got there on your little shelf there, man?
Oh, I actually bought that.
That looks like Indiana Jones's journal or some such. What am I looking at?
That's
cool.
No, it is. I actually bought this. It's a Lord of the Rings thing.
What is it?
I was gonna start journaling.
Oh, it's a journal.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you. Look, I mean, total geek. Listen. Somebody said they loved your interview with a voice actor from GT4. That was the first thing you put up on your channel, right? Jojo D said that.
Yeah, the one I'm working on with you, that one's gonna be really fun. So
Have you started editing it already?
I have. I have 6 solid minutes. So
Does it
halfway
bother
there.
you that the camera loves me so much and you're just like, eh?
I'm wondering whether I should send it to you because I'm cutting it in an interesting way.
You
but-
certainly do not need my approval. If you want my feedback, I'm happy to share it, but I trust you do what you want to do. Okay, so you and I first met because you were my agent and you were going to make me rich and famous, and, you know, good try, kid. But
every time you say that, it does make it's. We have to tell the whole story.
you know what I said to her? I
so,
said,
mean, you
I
didn't
I
do it.
want to be Jaffe. Would you take her out to the Olive Garden? No, she's not. A, she's dating somebody, and B, she made it clear. Well, let me tell you a story about this woman here. I have lunch with her. I don't know when it was.
Not fettuccine again, right?
No. This is the when we had PF Chang's about 6 months ago. You and me.
Okay, yeah.
And this is what's funny, right? She's my agent, and I'm like, I'm not gonna, you know, she's an attractive lady. I'm super good looking, and I'm just shut up. And you know, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna, you know, indicate that. Oh, it would be fun if we, you know, maybe had a romantic relationship because it's inappropriate. And she says, Jaffe, come to this. Now, she's going to deny this, but I have the email to prove it. And she says, Jaffe, come to this bar in L.A. And I'd driven to L.A. to meet with Ophir, her boss, and her, because I think I don't know what we were doing, prepping a pitch or whatever. I says, yeah, okay, whatever. And we go to this bar, and we're drinking. And then I'm like, all right, I got to go back. I got to go home, and she's got to go home. And I get a cab and she gets her car, which is stupid because she drives like a fucking drunk person all the time. And then she comes on to me and kisses me and she doesn't remember it. She thinks I can't. And I'm like, dude, I have the email where you wrote me afterwards. So no, that is not our relationship. It could have been that night. That's what she wanted. That's what she wanted. And now you're telling me I'm lying? I don't remember it correctly.
The way that you know somebody's interested is the continued pursuit.
Okay. I didn't think you were interested because there was no continued pursuit. But don't tell me I came on to you because I would have never done that.
Jaffe is definitely a gentleman. If anything, you are highly humorous.
Why are those things related?
I guess.
Oh yeah, she's drunk, so it didn't count. That's fine. I want it for the record here. But I'll tell you something though. I tell you guys everything. Listen. So yeah, there was clearly nothing there. I thought she was really pretty and smart. Is this appropriate to talk about?
I mean, yeah, it's your show. So,
well, yeah, but yeah. I mean, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Just somebody mentioned it, and that's where my head went. So, but I'm happy to send me a signal if it's like, dude, I don't want to talk about this.
I'm just uncomfortable being on camera.
Okay, so it's okay to, because I want to tell the story that I was terrified about, right? Yeah. So is that okay? But you just text me and say stop, and I'll stop.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear me? Right? You know, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm not pursuing her, but for like 5 or 6 months after that, I'm like, I guess maybe she likes me. I don't really know how to read this woman's signals. And so she goes to all the same industry events I go to. And so, you know, I came on pretty hard, I would think. When you agree, you know, for that little period of time, I made it very clear I was interested in you and I couldn't quite read your take. Fair?
I guess, yeah.
The reason I bring it up is then when all the Me Too stuff started. This is the going somewhere, okay?
Oh.
So all the Me Too stuff started, and this was years after that. Years had passed, right? And I think, and you had called me and said something about we have to talk, and I'm like, what's going on? And you were telling me about, oh, it's the Me Too thing, and I'm like, oh shit, I was terrified, not that I was going to get like, you know, canceled, but more like, did I do something really inappropriate and I didn't even know it? And so it's like, you're like, okay, I'll talk to you at like 4. And I'm like, dude, it's like 10 a.m. I got to spend the whole day terrified that I'm this awful person that I don't even know. And I finally call you and you're like, oh my God, no, it wasn't you. I just wanted to talk to you about this other guy. I'm like, oh, thank God. Do you remember this?
Yes, but I'm confused on why you would even think that.
Because I think when I realized you weren't interested after that 5-month period, after you had come on to me, I was like, oh shit, did I read it wrong? And was I too aggressive? and I wasn't reading her signals right. And that's, it happens, but you're drunk half the time. So how do I know? Your signals are very hard to read.
There is such a misunderstanding on these things. So my background is in both the film industry and video game industry.
Yeah.
And the surplus of men is, I don't even remember you like that much.
You don't remember me? I'm here.
No, I don't really remember you pursuing me that much. I really don't.
Okay, but you're not like you don't know who I am.
Oh, of course I know who you are. Yeah.
Okay, but you don't remember.
Just,
and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something.
That.
I'll tell you something else that happened. Zeke says, Jaffe, the same thing happened to me in 8th grade. When a male calls Jaffe, he can't wait to hang up. But when a woman calls Jaffe, he loves keeping going. Because she's my buddy. I love Gina. She's one of my favorite people in the industry. When you call, as if I can get you off as soon as possible. And let me rephrase that. It sounds filthy. It's not what I mean. I'm going to tell you something else. This will stay with me until I die. Because it was the weirdest encounter. And you don't remember this either, my
drunk friend.
Alcoholic pal. You and I had gone to Coyote Ugly. Do you remember this? And we're drinking.
I feel like I do. I want to say that I do. Was this San Diego?
Did you get like hypnosis and say, I need these 12 men to be blocked out of my brain? We go to, we're in San Diego. And we're drinking, and then we go over, we're walking around the gas lamp, and we're just hanging out. There's no chemistry. We're not doing anything like that or whatever. We're just hanging out. And this lady and her boyfriend walks by, and she was drunk as shit. And she shouts to you, and she says, "Oh, honey, he's ugly. You could do better." Do you remember this?
Not at all.
Yeah, and I was like, lady, I said something funny to her.
You telling me this, but
then 5 minutes later, you're kissing me on the doorstep of the fucking Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency. Do you know this all happened? You don't remember this?
It might have been an empathy. It was like
I assumed it was. I'm like, I'm gonna kiss this ugly motherfucker because I didn't feel bad she said it, but I was like, where's this kiss coming from?
I can't even believe. Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't remember that at all. Are you sure you didn't like mishear her or something? I really don't remember it at all.
No, I didn't mishear her. You don't mishear when, although she wasn't much to look at either, in my opinion, but you don't mishear when a woman calls you ugly, and you certainly don't forget when you get called ugly in front of a woman who's not ugly, and then that woman kisses you. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Well, she sucks.
She was drunk. I don't mind drunk people. I mean, okay, look. Point being, Ramirez, was this an okay story to tell? I like telling people.
Yeah, I mean, it's your stream.
I know, but the thing is, people lie to people so much. I don't like that. Whether you're talking about the business, you're talking about relationships.
I do think you're so overly honest, though. Like all your.
I'm overly honest.
Why? Because you yourself said that you wanted your stream to be entertaining.
Isn't this entertaining? You tell me, chat.
It's educational. Is what it is, though.
Yeah, but I'm okay. Continue. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm fascinated by this thread. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so I'm just saying you're not hitting your target because you tend to go, and again, because you find it more interesting, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I would say that your stream is very much more educational, which is a good thing. But yeah, you are you definitely hang your hat on that.
Okay, so you're saying that my stream isn't entertaining. It's educational.
It is entertaining, but you have to be smart, I guess.
Of course it's awkward. That's what's real about it.
I live in awkward.
Yeah, so K-Nub says it's awkward, definitely. Yes. That's why I'm sharing it.
Somebody said it's sad. Wait, what's sad?
It's not sad at all. That's Nawdog. Nawdog is mad at everything. Nawdog.
My point about entertainment versus education.
Sure. Of course it's awkward.
Humans are boring.
But aren't you tired of not awkward? Aren't you tired of people? Aren't you? I'm tired of people lying to you. I'm tired of people going online or going on camera and selling you a lie.
That's entertainment, though.
I think my audience is smarter than that. Are you saying you don't think they're smart enough to understand?
I think your audience is smart. That's
Look what I just did. I backed you into a corner. Now you have to agree with me or insult them. I'm very good. Continue.
No,
Continue.
I like your chat. That's why. So what I told Jaffe is that
Tech
'cause it was
Protect
really
is
hard.
my new producer. He says it's good content. Keep going. You goddamn right. I bet.
can edit it.
What's that
Edit
guy's
it.
name? Astro Gold, Astrobotman Gold, whatever the fuck. He'll clip it, you old filthy man. I mean, that man is so rich, but I can't imagine if he. It doesn't matter. The point is, continue, Gina. I'm sorry.
Well, they do it very differently than you do.
What do you mean?
They focus more on the entertainment aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ravno says your audience is for sure not smart enough. Yeah.
No, well, the chat actually is what.
Oh, shut up, Mookie. Stop telling me what women want. I know what women want. Here's the Mookie says she wants you to stop. You know what? Gina's about one of the smartest people I met. She went to USC. She fucking thrived in a business with a bunch of fucking assholes. The woman has the stones to stand up and say, I don't want to talk about this. You think she hasn't been in? I mean, come on. Don't patronize people as strong as Gina. Don't come on. You don't know shit. Continue. Sorry. You what?
I said I do fight with people.
I know you do. That's why you got fired from Activision. Oops. I don't know if that's true. You didn't work at Activision.
I left Activision because I wanted back in the film industry, and that is the whole sort of thing I was trying to say in terms of the film industry being less misogynistic than the games industry.
Right. I mean, you've had some shit, man, and it's not my story to tell, but you've had some interesting encounters with some names that these people in this chat would go, what the fuck? That individual that I know very well in terms of as a fan did that? Are those stories ever coming out on your channel or no?
I mean, the thing is,
Don't tell the story. I'm not asking you to tell the story. I'm asking you, do you think you'll ever come to a point where you want to share that?
The way I view it, which I think is like sort of similar to why you angle the way that you do, but I view it more as like, are there any points here that are educational and helpful to others? And then at that point, it makes more sense to talk.
Right.
So that's why I kind of wanted to.
Well, what are you really going to?
It's a struggle because, obviously, people, they're more threatened by it than they should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's not that big of a deal. These things should be discussed. But yeah, the way people reacted is definitely, it's almost like, I almost feel like they have to get over it, if that makes sense. Like
it makes total sense. K-Nub says Jaffe only wants to tell his story about a woman, doesn't want her to tell a story. I would love for her to tell her story. But it's not my place. That's why I haven't said anything. I will never.
I'm doing it with Kojina, so. I'm doing it with Kojina.
No one knows what that means or what you're talking about. You say that like we're supposed to understand.
Yeah, so I'm like I have a new YouTube channel, and it's basically my feminist take on the video game industry. So
that's a good pitch. That's a very good pitch. Mm-hmm. And as someone who's been in it, it's not like Anita Sarkeesian or somebody from the outside with your nose pressed up. You've lived it. You've been in it. You've known and worked with all these big names in film and games. What do they enter into the goddamn the search on the Google? How do they find you?
I think it's just Kojina connects with a K.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Okay.
It's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet. Yeah, she's great. She's great. Anyway, I'll link the channel when she gives it to me. Anyway, okay. So, what is it going to take to get you back into video games? What is preventing it?
It's the way I'm interviewing. I'm not giving good interviews yet. So
you're working on that, you mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think you're not giving good interviews?
I'm too emotional still.
Your interview with me was good. Did you not think it was a good interview?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean No. I don't mean working in video games. I mean playing them.
Oh, playing them.
Yeah, you're talking about your interview for jobs in the. No. I'm talking about playing them.
Yeah, playing them. So I do want to start playing again. So yeah, I just need to do it basically.
Okay.
And I'm working on the interview right now. So I guess once I'm done with the interview.
The editing the interview?
Then I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you think women should be able to vote?
Really? Really?
I just wonder. I mean, it gets us in a lot of trouble.
Did you know? I mean, we didn't get voting rights fairly recently.
Yeah, I know, like 1918 or something.
No, actually, well, I don't really know. I don't remember, but that was kind of the worst part about when I was studying the legal system. It was like learning just how late in the game we actually like came in.
Oh yeah.
and like started mattering. But yeah, it was
Okay.
class was fun.
All right. Good. Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Well, how was this bad?
Except
Did you need Anthony to be in here? Did you need JoJo D, or did it go pretty well? Did you have fun?
yeah.
People like you. This is what. Let me tell you something, Chad, about her. She's always like, I'm terrible on camera. That's how she talks in my head. I'm terrible on camera, and nobody likes me, and I ramble. And I'm like, you're awesome on camera. I'm not saying blow smoke up her butthole. I'm saying, do you think she's articulate and interesting to listen to? And yes, that is a rogue statue from Sideshow. Put a poll up. Okay, I'll put a poll up. She's British in my mind, dude. My mind is a scary place. You don't want to fucking hear, you don't wait till you hear what you are in my mind. Okay, is Gina good on camera? Yes or no? Here we go. Boom. Poll isn't. You can't vote, Gina.
I'm voting myself.
Jaffe, just knowing you blew it so badly makes us all hurt. I didn't blow shit. She wasn't into me. So I didn't blow anything. That's her fucking lack of taste. What can I do about that? I mean, if she would have played her cards right, she could have been married to a divorced guy who runs a YouTube channel. Oh, well, who you dating right now? What? Nothing. The point is, huh?
A YouTuber.
I know you're dating a YouTuber. You are. And I won't lie. It makes me feel a little better about myself that I have more subscribers than he does. I won't lie. It's true. I have to always be honest. But you think my honesty is hurting the entertainment?
In terms of what you're trying to accomplish, I think there is a level of you kind of have to.
Give me an example. What in this interview have I fucked up in that was too honest that could have been better for my show as a piece of entertainment?
So not necessarily in your interview, but for example, remember when I sent you something that I drafted in terms of how to approach the
oh
other
God,
YouTubers
I would never read that.
But that's entertainment though. Had you invited them onto your channel and you're having discussions with them?
Yeah, but it's a bunch of bullshit.
But because you want to be honest to yourself, you
tell the audience what the gist of your letter that you wanted me to read.
I was it was something about how
during the Vera Dark thing.
Yeah, about how you just want to understand their viewpoint. Because some of them, some of them did have logical arguments in terms of Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
And
what were their arguments? That it wasn't what they were promised, and Dragon Age is not that kind of game?
No, some guy said that I was going to send it to you, but some guy said he played like over 100 hours of Dragon Age, and he could come on your show and start telling you why his viewpoint is different.
I know why his viewpoint is different. I don't care that he doesn't like the game.
But he has his own fan base. Again,
but I'm not apologizing for liking something he doesn't like. That wasn't the issue. The issue was them being
you don't have to apologize
to the LGBT community, and I wouldn't stand for it on my channel, and I would push back. And I'm like, I'm not going to if you want to say you like or don't like Dragon Age because it doesn't play well, the combat is too simple, the story is juvenile, it's poorly written, it's not what you were promised from the marketing based on earlier iterations of the franchise, I would say, yeah, that's valid. But if you don't like it because there's trans people in it, I'm sorry, you're a fucking transphobe.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't his argument. So yeah. But again, that's channel growth,
I know, but it's such bull. People can read through it.
That's the thing. You're too. Yeah.
Do you think when people go up and say, you know what, I really apologize for saying that comment. It's a learning moment. I'm going to really do, but people know that's horseshit.
That's the thing. They don't though. That's sort of like the point of entertainment.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll never make it. I guess I'll just be a loser.
You're doing just fine.
I'll be a loser
But I'm just saying
YouTuber.
For growth. No,
I want your boyfriend to come on my show. I want to talk to him.
He's awesome.
I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him about what he's got that I didn't have back in the day, and why his channel clearly gets you interested in him. But he must be entertaining. It must be nice to date someone who's not honest, I guess is what it's all about. Yeah.
There is literally there isn't a YouTube channel I can actually just watch for the sake of watching it. Mm-hmm. So, and again, the reason I got into yours because again the chat was fun. They like trolling you, but overall, it is really hard to entertain people. So,
It is hard. It is hard. Well, I do my best. Yes, she is dating Asmongold. How do you do that? Do you close your eyes when you're with him and imagine, I don't know, somebody else, like an anime, like Cloud from Final Fantasy? And do the roaches crawl on you, or has he trained him to only crawl on his body when you guys are being together?
The only Asmongold I watched was the one that you showed for like 30 seconds. He comes off incredibly fake. Incredibly fake. I mean, the fact that that's the thing, though, that's the whole point of entertainment.
You know what's sad, though? Somebody said that he's actually really depressed and he doesn't want to be doing what he's doing. And we can joke and create drama and stuff. But
that can be very true, of course.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of money. I hope he's getting therapy and working through it, because you don't wish that on anybody, man. That stuff's hard.
Yeah, I kind of think depression's more widespread than people.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You got to be honest. If we were just fucking honest about it. If we're honest about...
But it's not entertainment. Did you not see? I mean, somebody was saying, like, this is a sad conversation. It was like, that's the thing. That's why I told Anthony that we should just come on your stream and dance, because it's like,
Anthony, come on my screen and do what?
Dance.
You want me to have Anthony come on my screen...
On your stream.
And dance for us?
I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what would entertain your audience.
Not that.
I'm not meaning to come. I mean... It's a little funny, no?
Well, it would be funny, but you want to humiliate this grown man that has given much to the industry as the guitarist for one of the greatest musicians of all time, Prince.
I did say I would do it with him.
And you want him to now... You would dance with him? Oh, I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, but I'm not going to... I'm not really going to do it.
Gina, you're one of my favorite people. I appreciate you coming on. I know it makes you a little nervous, but I love talking to you. So please... Come back. You got big news.
I just never have anything to say.
Yeah, this is fun. Look, it's my fucking channel, and I don't give a fuck. I got Tech Protect, who I'm about to hire as my first official producer. He's watching, and he says it's good content. I'm humiliating myself in front of the world saying, oh, here's a story about when a lady called me ugly, and this really pretty lady kissed me back. And I'm like, was it a pity kiss? Probably. I'll take it. The point is, Gina Ramirez, good content. It's honest. It's genuine. And you don't believe me, and you didn't make me the star you promised. So it's time to say goodbye.
I got you your TV show, and you backed out.
No.
Yeah.
No. What are you doing for New Year's? That's what I want to hear.
We haven't decided yet.
I know, but give me something fancy schman. It's your first New Year's with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is there this pressure to be like, oh, it better be fucking good? Like,
no, I mean, people usually come up with New Year stuff at the last minute too. So
yeah, is he the kind of guy that would do something dumb like for Valentine's, or is he an honest broker with you? Like, is he gonna?
He's definitely very good.
Good.
He's very sweet.
All right. Well, I like him. I like him because he's nice to you. But if he's not, I'm sending Bukaki over there. I won't do it. I won't.
Can we talk about Bukaki's basement in the Discord? I saw it.
I never go to it. It's on my Discord, and I never go to it. There's no way I'm clicking that channel. That's what he gets paid to be a mod. He gets a channel in the Discord. I don't want to know what's in there. It's like having a teenage son and the doors like keep out. I'm like, you got it, buddy. I'm fine. I'm never going in. All right, Gina, thank you, bud. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. But seriously, you okay? Did you have fun? I feel like
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to be entertaining. That's my problem.
You're doing great. You're doing great. See you, buddy.
Right,
there she goes, fellas. Off into the evening. Okay, there's Gina. Let me know if you want to see her back on the fucking show. Maybe I can convince her. I think she does great, man. I really do. She really does not like to be on camera, which is so goofy. If I looked like her, I'd be on camera all the time. I already am, but I'd be on camera even more. All right. And she's also smart. That's the thing. She's like a triple threat. She's got experience. She's articulate. She's smart. Oh, fourple threat. Come on. Fuck you. Quadruple. Brad says, no more Gina ever. That's the one comment she'll read, you son of a bitch. Okay. She's a fake gamer girl. Oh, you're going to hell. Okay. Your super chat to Gina was ignored. I'm not done. Here, look. I'll read it to her and she'll text me a response. This is from Joe, Gina. Thank you, Joe. Why does Gina think she's boring? I don't know. I looked her up and I was wowed. I am sad that isn't confident in herself. Merry Christmas, Gina. Yeah, I mean, she's badass, man. I'm telling you. I mean, let's put it this way. I was at a major agency, and I followed her. When she left, I followed her. Because she's got the shit down. Okay. All right. Let's move on to some topics. We were looking at that Xbox ad earlier. And then it kind of comes a day before this article comes out from an analyst saying, and this is interesting to me, the game industry will only have room for one Nintendo console next gen, non-Nintendo. So they're totally assured that Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be pretty exciting and pretty successful. But then they're like, but there's no room for PlayStation and Microsoft, right? And I mean, it is kind of true, isn't it? Like when is the last time? I mean, I know everybody likes to say Nintendo, PlayStation, and Sega, but we've never really had three that have been really successful. Like the closest we've ever come, I can't even think what the closest we've ever come. I know there was like Xbox 360, and that was fighting PlayStation. Eventually PlayStation pulled ahead, and that's when the Wii was out. But at any given time, it wasn't like PlayStation and Xbox and the Wii were all doing amazing. So I'm not, yeah, Ravno says we've had three for how many decades? I'm not suggesting to you that there haven't been three. I'm saying that the reporting or the analysts are basically saying that, where'd my camera go? Hang on. That's not what they're saying. They don't talk about things like that. What are you talking about? The analysts are basically saying that, I'm assuming because budgets are now so high and it's so expensive to be in that market as a piece of hardware and a publisher, that it's not like before where, yeah, you could limp through a generation like, you know, the Sega Saturn and still have enough ability to put out the Dreamcast, or you could limp through a generation like the Xbox One X or whatever it was called and still have an ability to put out the Series X. So I was wondering, I'm wondering if you think it's true. I mean, I don't really care. I think all consoles are going away anyway, but we will see. But that came out. And then I also want to tell you, Chronos, The New Dawn. Now, I was incredibly, delightfully, wonderfully surprised when the new game from Bloober Team came out with Silent Hill. Because I used to love their shit. And then I kind of lost faith after a bunch of games had come out after Layers of Fear, and they were just pretty uninspiring and uninteresting. And they hit it out of the fucking park with Silent Hill 2. It's just excellent. Fucking excellent. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's so good. So now I'm interested. Different director, not the same director. But Chronos, The New Dawn, sci-fi survival horror is coming. And today on their Steam page, Bloober Team dropped some new information. Not a lot, but a little bit if you're excited about this game like I am. They said at the end of the year as the year draws near, we'd like to leave you with a small gift. We are thrilled by the support we've received since revealing Chronos, The New Dawn, and by all the love you've shown us throughout the whole year. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Together today, we'd like to add words that aren't really there because it's fun for my brain. Together today, we'd like to share a few pieces of concept art from Chronos and spice them up with context. Yep, we're still a little bit secretive since we're cooking up a lot of cool stuff in 2025, bitch. But when it comes to the art shown below, we have curated images related to the game's protagonist as well as to the world itself and various enemies and tech that you will find in the game. That's cool. That's exciting. All right, the work. Now this is, if you don't remember, this is the trailer they dropped about 2 months ago, and it was like an astronaut playing chess with a old woman, and somebody died. It was really surreal and fun and interesting, and the gameplay looked very Dead Spacey, third-person shooter horror thing. The work of the traveler is eternal, but the tools that serve us are just crude matter. Here's the first concept. It's the future suit of the traveler, who's the protagonist. It hides a few surprises, each of them very helpful when it comes to survival. So we'll get a little bit of we'll get a little bit of maybe gameplay mechanic hints here. It does have Mysterio vibes, Naughty Dog. I agree. Let's look at it real quick and see if we can see any. I can't make it bigger. Open image, a new tab, maybe. Let's see if we can see anything. So these will come in handy, they say. What do we see? I mean, obviously, all this could be any and everything, so it doesn't really mean shit. But assuming we can take some clues here, I mean, this is obviously, I don't think it's a gun. It's probably like a radar. Maybe it projects a map, like a hollow map in front of him when he hits the button or something. Maybe you can swap out pieces to it so it does different things. We don't really see much here in the way of gameplay. I wonder if we ever see the guy. I wonder if we ever see him. The back, I wonder if the back is going to have like an Isaac sort of HUD. So the HUD's all going to be in game. You kind of have that feeling there with the spine, the metallic spine there. It's kind of cool. I like it when the HUD can be built into the character. It looks a little bit like Death Stranding, says Gabriel. Yeah. That Amick says that's the suit required to enter Asmongold's house. Well, okay. I didn't say it. Okay. The world of New Dawn will often put your traveler's gear to the test, whether it's tense combat, exploration, gathering resources, or traversal. Through desolate parts of the city, the suit's functionalities and additional tech will come in handy. Time traveling with dealing with temporal anomalies are no exception. That's pretty cool. That you're going to have some time travel. You know that level? Do you guys remember that level in Titanfall 2? One of the coolest single player levels I've ever seen in a shooter. It was you could basically switch between two different time periods, but it was the same location. So one was like 5,000 years in the future, and one was like, from your present of the game, and the other was like 300 years in the past. And there were different enemies, and there were obviously changes to the layout, but it was clear it was the same environment, right? And so you had to learn what part of the environment sustained and what part of the environment went back, and went away when you changed time zones. It might have been in Starfield. I didn't see it in Starfield, and Naughty Dog says Singularity did it first. Never saw it. The first time I experienced it was Titanfall 2, and that was fantastic. But anyway, so maybe we'll get something like that with the time. All citizens approaching the quarantine zone of Steelworks, which I guess is this, are obliged to follow the rules established by Mystery. We don't know. Only by submitting to them will we defeat the plague. As you might have already noticed, says the developer, the setting of Kronos will let you visit 1980s era Poland. Oh, thank God. I've always wanted that. The exact location is not a coincidence. Some of our team members pass by these very sites when traveling to the office for the city each day. Lucky them. I'm just saying, Putin, next, it doesn't matter. Bloober team had it start in Krakow, one of the former capitals of Poland. The city's very special. I don't really care. When it comes to the twisted time travel journey, and I'm not being mean, Gina would be like, that's too honest. People might not be entertained by you being honest. I don't care about the artist, where they go to lunch. When it comes to twisted time travel journey depicted in Kronos, we'll be letting you explore New Dawn, a district heavily inspired by real-life Nawahuda, one of Krakow's actual areas. I'll alert the media. The district of New Dawn itself is a monument of brutalist architecture. It was once a place filled with people and life, but when the change occurred, what did it go through menopause? It turned into a hollow, barren wasteland. The places you'll visit in Kronos also feature tons of details connected to Polish culture and history. I don't care. If you plan to visit our city soon, fuck you. What? Nightmarish abominations. Now we're speaking my language. Patient information forms confirm several common early symptoms. High fever, cold shivers. Shit, my daughter's sick. She has all these right now. High fever, cold shivers, fainting, appetite loss, limb numbness, hallucinations, severe sudden eyesight deterioration. Look at that bad guy. Look at that guy. Let's pop it open. Let's pop that bad boy open. Look at that. Look at that. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I like it when you can see the humanity in the monsters. It makes them creepier. I'm tired of all these spider monsters and insect monsters and all this shit. The enemies you'll encounter while roaming through the grim wastelands of New Dawn are born from the remnants of humanity, fellas. And as we want to save the details about their origin, of course, and behavior for a special occasion, like, Poland's 80th anniversary. We can only tell you one thing for now. In Kronos, you'll need to keep your eyes peeled and watch your step, bitches, because danger lurks around every corner. A quiet resource scavenging session can turn into a pulse-pounding struggle for survival in the blink of an eye. A wink. Both combat and navigating the world will require focus, tactical approach, and the ability to plan ahead. We can't wait to show you more. Huh? Can't wait to show you more. Survive the nightmare of the future and save what remains of the past. This is pretty cool, though. I'm very excited for this game. As an agent of the mysterious collective, you will travel through time in order to locate key people from the past. I wonder if it'll be like Forrest Gump, like real people, and extract their essences. Not like Forrest Gump at all. This journey would not be possible without the retro-futuristic tech at your disposal. The extraction process is conducted with a powerful tool known as the Harvester, which is attached to the Traveler's Gauntlet. Cool. Besides that, you will also witness strange tech artifacts in several locations throughout the game. That's cool. So you might see stuff phasing in and out from various time periods. What function do they serve in a world where mysterious catastrophe seemingly wiped out all of humanity? And how do they tie into the story of your character, your overall mission? Well, pave the path of the traveler, and you might just find your answers. I'm excited for this. I'm pretty excited for this. Jaffe, I'm not trying to get you off game, says Moot, but what are your thoughts on Colin having Stuttering Craig on Sacred Plus? I'll talk about that in a second. I have a Stuttering Craig story coming up. Then they give you some great music from the soundtrack. Who's excited about this? This is pretty cool, man. I really, really hope. Look, when I played Layers of Fear, I felt these guys were pretty fucking legit. And then they let me down for a decade. Fuck you, K-Nubs. He says, I miss Gina. Fuck you. And then they roar back to life with the Silent Hill 2. And so now they're back on my list of like, hey, this could be good. This could be good. So I'm excited, man. I'm Kevin says he is too. Yeah, and Godslayer's excited. Good. Lucas says I want true cosmic horror. It could be this. Frank says, yeah, it's just like Forrest Gump. Remember the ending where he sucked out Richard Nixon's essence? That guy says, I'm definitely playing. I love Silent Hill 2. You goddamn right, sir. Will I jump into Space Marine? Eventually. There's too much to play, man. Hell, I wanted to finish Indy tonight for the Victor conversation, but if I game tonight, it's probably going to be this game I'm going to tell you about right now or in a second. Speaking of Stuttering Craig, I don't like to kick people when they're down. I'm not saying he's down. Him being on Colin's show, though, to answer your question, I don't care. I don't like Stuttering Craig at all. I think he's a fucking jerk. But, first off, just because Colin has somebody on their show doesn't mean they agree with them. And even if he does, I mean, what are you only friends with people that agree with every single thing you agree with? I think he's a transphobe, or at least he's a grifter of transphobe folks. Either way. Jaffe, you're at the ending of Indiana Jones. Hope you're aware. Cool. Good to know. Wait, so he talked about my kid on Sacred Symbols Plus? Send me a link to that clip. Tell me where to find that. I didn't watch it, so I just assumed it's him. I don't want to watch him. But yeah, I would love to see that. If he's talking about my child, I would love to see that. Did you feel like the end of Silent Hill 2 remake went on too long? Yes, 100%. 100%. I loved the game, but it was bloated. It was too bloated, 100%. Yeah, Necro talking about Chronos says, and Bloober says, I love Silent Hill 2, but they did an excellent job. But until they can pull that level of quality with all original content, I still approach with caution. Right, and this is a different director. It's not the same guy that did Layers of Fear and did Silent Hill 2. And even though I didn't particularly like The Medium, he didn't do The Medium, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But no, what I wanted to talk about with Stuttering Craig was his the Real Game Awards, which Keeley's recently trademarked the Game Awards. So I can't imagine that. I mean, I don't think these guys are such small potatoes. I don't think Keeley really cares, but he probably did it sort of like to go, okay, I've got this in my pocket if it ever becomes something. But them getting, okay, so basically what this is, In fact, let me just show you. Okay, so Kevin, they're saying they didn't talk about my son. I wouldn't expect them to, but I would have been surprised. But he did talk about my son on his stream after I had gone on an interview. So yeah, I think he's a dick. Okay. This is, let me just play this. It's a 2-minute clip. He will explain to you what the real Game Awards are. And then we will, talk about some of the, I don't know if it's controversy, but some of the stupidity, in my opinion, that is, surrounding it. Here we go.
If there's one thing that's become painfully clear over the last couple of weeks, it's
You're
that the
an
people
asshole.
who work in this
No.
industry and write about this industry that you love hate you. It's one big club, and you are not in it. In
Somebody send George Carlin a check for that line. That ain't yours, bitch.
fact, did you know that the Game Awards are voted on by those exact same people? I mean, look at this list. It's IGN and Polygon and Variety, for God's sakes. It's an elitist, outdated system, and it's had way too much sway in the video game industry for way too long. I've been talking about video games online for almost 2 decades now and been playing games like...
Has anybody ever asked him to explain why it has sway? What sway does it have? Can you point out the sway? Is the sway in the room with you right now? I'm not saying he's wrong, but when somebody tells me the Game Awards hold sway or has sway, it makes me go, what are you talking about? It doesn't really make much of a difference. There is some anecdotal suggestions that maybe it affects sales of certain kinds of indie titles, but that's even controversial in the sense that people push back and say, well, you need this data until you can actually say that, and that data isn't being made available. So I would wonder when he says that, what he's talking about.
Longer than that, but I have never seen the video game industry this toxic. It is time to get our...
You've never seen the video game industry this toxic? That is like saying the CEO of McDonald's is saying, I have never seen such unhealthy food in America. Anyway, and yeah, okay.
Our voice
in my
back.
opinion.
Now, look, I'm not telling you I got this whole idea mapped out because I don't. I don't even have a name for this yet, but it's become painfully obvious that this is very much needed. Year after year, over and over again after the Game Awards, people say there has to be a real award show for gamers. Well, let's do it. This is the first step to creating a club or a group where you decide the winners and losers of the video game industry.
I would just like to point out, though, briefly, if you are looking for a video game award show that's voted on by gamers, that's been around for a very long time. It's called the Golden Joystick Awards. The Golden Joystick Awards, they just celebrated, I think, their 10th year or 12th year. Nearly all the awards are voted on by fans, with the exception of 4. The Golden Joysticks are considered to be especially significant because they're voted on by the people who buy and play games. How to vote. Fans can vote for their favorite games, devs, and publishers, and more. They just had it at the end of November. So, and you don't even have to pay for this one. You don't have to pay for this one. So I don't know what he's talking about, but let's keep going. Maybe he's got an ace up his sleeve and he's saving it till the end, like a good YouTuber.
A club where you get to decide the categories, the nominees for the categories, and of course, vote on them. And it'll all be done through an app where you can do it easily and securely. So is this club free? Nope, absolutely not. Why? As we've seen over the last few years, our hobby has been hijacked by activists looking to push their own agenda and literally push you out.
Hang on a minute. What's his show called? Side Scrollers? Is that, or Screw Attack or something? Hang on. Side Scrollers. I just want to make sure I understood what he said. Did he say that the industry has been attacked by people with an agenda? I just want to be clear on that. I just want to see what kind of stuff he publishes.
If you're just a normal man who loves
Let's see. Live. No, we want live or videos. Let's do videos. They, them, big mad. Wrong think. He gave the game industry middle finger. Disingenuous response. Yikes. They're useless. This should not happen. Fraud. Damaged. It won't end. It sounds like, I'm not saying he's wrong about other people. No trans jokes allowed. I'm not saying he's wrong about other people I don't know. Maybe he's absolutely right, but it's clear that they're not the only one with an agenda. But let's keep going.
For that reason
Because what he's saying clearly is important. I mean, I feel like we need the music that played when the president in Independence Day gave that big speech. But, here we go.
alone, there has to be a barrier of entry to be a part of this club. Hell yes, we're going to gatekeep. We should have been gatekeeping much longer. But here's my vision. With your support, we'll, number one, be able to make the app. And number two, be able to create a physical award show that you'll be able to attend, guess what? With the app serving as your ticket. My vision for this also has a board of directors to help oversee things, but there are strict rules to be involved with the board. One, they're not allowed to vote. Two, they're not allowed to be on any press list or receive any free video games and...
I just want to make sure I understand. You're telling me the rules to be on the board, but has he been specific about what the board does? What do I care about the rules if I don't know what they do? They oversee? What does that even mean?
with the app serving as your ticket. My vision for this also has a board of directors to help oversee things, but there are strict rules to be involved with the board.
Okay.
One, they're not allowed to vote. Two, they're not allowed to be on any press list or receive any free video games and or perks from any AAA publishers. And three, and most importantly, they are
How do you define AAA publishers? I guess that'll be in the legalese, which I'm sure exists.
not allowed to be employed by traditional gaming media.
Again, hopefully that will be defined somewhere before you ask, because you're not asking people for money for this, are you? I mean, if you are, you need to make that clear, I assume.
Hey man, I get it. Video games are a mess right now. The industry you love doesn't want you, and the traditional media hates you.
Who's this remind me of? I want your money, and I want some power. So maybe what I'll do is other people and say they're the bad guys. Like maybe I'll say they're sending rapists and murderers, and then you'll feel like you're seen, and I won't really do anything for you. Your life's not going to get better, but I'll get richer. And who is that? It's like somebody. Who the I don't know. I am getting old, guys.
And that's why it's time to take games back. So go to takegamesback.com and become a member and help grow this community and help regain our voice. It's now or never.
That is so... Okay. Hey, if you believe in it, go with it. It's got to be free though, right? Nope. I like this. Giovanni Colinati says, I just realized the Real Game Awards is an unironic version of Mega 64's Todd and Aaron Awards. Those guys should sue. Let's go over some of the nominations that you gotta be a member, I think, but you can hear a little bit. The best action games, all right, Space Marine 2, Blade, Wukong, Final Fantasy, and Indie. The best game awards, FPS, RoboCop, Call of Duty, Stalker 2. Who gives a shit? What I want to know is, before I cough up ducats, I'd like to know, what do I get if I vote? Like, what do I care if RoboCop wins? Like, you're only selling me half the vision. At least with like a politician, they'll say, if you vote for me and I win, this is what you get. What, I get to vote on some fucking random internet thing that doesn't really make a goddamn difference? Do I get to vote, and if my game wins, I get a seat at the table with the design team for the sequel? What are you promising me, buddy? You're asking for a lot of money. Golden Joysticks does what you're saying. They do it for free. They've been doing it for over 10 years. Look at this one. This one's important. The Real Game Awards, Husbando of the Year. Yeah, exactly. It's super important to take games back. It was a great award. I mean, I don't care. I like fun awards. That's pretty cool, but well, I don't, The Shitty Ass Game of the Year Award. Suicide Squad, Duststorm, Dragon Age, Veilguard, Concord. Okay. Awesome. All these journalists, by the way, that you hate, they also, by the way, shit on two of these, Concord and Suicide Squad. I don't know about Dustborn. Somebody check if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. Check the I know Dragon Age has good Metacritic, but does Dustborn have Metacritic? I don't know, but I don't, and all it's already been called out, hasn't it? Let's look up. I just want to see Dustborn real quick, because I know Dustborn Metacritic. Dustborn Metacritic is sitting right now at a 68. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, but certainly not like an overwhelmingly positive thing. So I don't really know what these awards are meant to do. And then I like how, though, there are people that are saying things like, you know, if you go to this guy's, I got to find it again now. I moved it on down the line a little bit. But if you go to the Twitter, people are like, are you out of your fucking mind? You guys want 30 fucking bucks for this? Because that's what it'll cost you. If you go to the site, it'll say, hey, become a member. And if you want to vote in this, that's not a problem, pal. Give us 30 bucks every year. I mean, hey, if you value what he's offering, I think that's great. But what I think all the trolls should do it. Like, we should get like really rich lefty trolls and like make like Dustborn win Game of the Year, which will tell you how good. I mean, this is basically pay for power. It's the thing they don't like. It's all this free to play gotcha game, mystery box shit, right? Whoever has I mean, if I have more money than you, I can just buy nomination after nomination. I can buy membership after membership after membership, and I can basically own it. Isn't that the thing they're pushing back against? The money, the corporate greed, blah, blah, blah. Well, your whole system is built on the same kind of thing, man. You know, Severed Steel, Doug, on PlayStation Network is only $2.50. Fuck. That's a great game. Michael Pitakowski of the Australian Patowski says, Jaffe, do PlayStation fanboys hate Xbox all? Do they hate Game Pass because you get day one on Game Pass? I don't identify as any of that. I love Game Pass. I've loved it since I heard about it. I've subscribed since I've on Ultimate or as much as I can, whatever their tier is. I love PlayStation's IP, but this generation has not interested me that much. I really don't spend much time engaging with people who call themselves fanboys of a console, really. Unless they can justify it from nostalgia, then I appreciate that. But fundamentally, you know, I'm a fan of games, man. I'm not a fan of where you play them. To me, that's like saying you're a movie fan, but you'll only watch movies that, you know, are shown on specific projectors. Or it's like, what? The box has nothing to do with it. It's the game. Anyway, Michael, thank you for that question. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Necro says, it's amazing how this Craig fella's claiming to be the true voice of the gamer, yet the vote, it's locked behind a paywall. Meanwhile, all the other awards that allow public voting are free. Yeah. It's goddamn right. It's goddamn right. This award show will be hosted at Four Seasons Landscaping. That is a semi-deep wonky cut, but I absolutely fucking love it. I love it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, as you would imagine, I'll try to show you. I think I pushed it off the screen. I didn't mean to, but if you go to the Real Game Awards on Twitter, a lot of people understandably are like, look at this one, the Real Game Awards, and it's just this empty ball pit. I don't know if it should be like the thing from Willy Wonka, the Willy Wonka live experience. That's what they should show. This is where your $30 is going to, by the way. It says the Real Game Awards, now in glorious 852 times 480. And basically it's just a stock image that they paid for. Hang on, the Real Game Awards are voted on by gamers, says Epic Treasure, but they have to pay to vote. Kind of like Elon encouraging monetized users to sign up premium members to benefit. Damn, this is where we're at, or am I missing something? No, I think this is exactly where we're at. By the way, these are chuckles. These are not laughs. If I was someone else, I would go. And I put a premium on honesty. People said, why would you make a video about Asmongold's laughs? It's a stupid idea. Yeah, but I like honesty, man. Gina tells me I'm losing money because of it, but, you know, then I just shouldn't do it then, you know, because I can't handle people being full of shit anymore. The Real Game Award says Fallout Purist Chris. Categories dedicated to tearing down real people and how fuckable virtual characters are. Hey, that's my boy. Hang on. Hello, baby. I'm streaming. What's up?
Oh, how long are you going to be streaming for?
30, 40 minutes. What, did you guys want to do something tonight?
Yeah, we were going to come. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Come over. When you guys get here, I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Because I've been streaming for a while. I want to get to one more story, and then I'll stream again tomorrow morning, so it'll be great. All right, see you soon. Bye, baby.
Oh my gosh. I can hear you.
Okay. I thought the Muppets were good too. I like the Muppets. Yeah, it's good to see Twitter is not eating this shit. I'm with you. Somebody else had a really funny one. Yeah, the irony. It says the Real Game Awards, biggest cash grab. And then it shows the games up for that award. And then it shows here, give us $30. So, but anyway, Jaffe can't be fake. Remember when he tried to play Raid? No, absolutely. What did I do? Yeah, they paid me to play Raid Shadow Legends. They sure fucking did. And I played it and I streamed it. And then I was like, you know what? I cannot pretend to like this. And I called him and I said, I don't want your money because I won't do it. And it's just not worth it. And so Tony, if you're watching, I know we were talking about this earlier. I'm all for playing people's games, but if they want like a shill, I'll only shill stuff that I genuinely like. I'm not going to pretend. He's like, Gray, I'm so happy I'm working with you. Why don't you told me you had some fucking morals, you fucking idiot. Welcome to fucking socialism, because that's what we're going to end up with all that bullshit. Shut up, Jaffe. Let's move on. The point is, it's good to see people pushing back on this. It's like, look, I think Game Awards are stupid in general. All of them. Awards for creative ideas, stupid in general. But certainly this one takes the cake for, in my opinion, stupid shit. So what's the deal with the guy that gave the first Impact Award to? Apparently he's a bigwig at a company. What's an Impact Award? I don't even know what that is. Jaffe, okay, gotcha. All right, let's move on though. I want to get to this story because I've been teasing it for a few days and I think it's really interesting. This is, well, first let me tell you about this briefly. The Killing Antidote is the name of the game. I made a video earlier today and I was like, look, all these people are lying to you when it comes to people who are saying there aren't games with hot women and gore and all that shit. And I'm like, well, here's one. What are you talking about? And, people push back and they were like, oh, well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about AAA, quadruple A, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't know what this game is, it's basically Resident Evil 4 camera. I've just played the demo. I'm going to buy it and play the actual game tonight or tomorrow. And it's fun. I'm only in the demo and it's on Steam right now. I don't know if it's on anything else. You can the point is, all the stuff they say they want is here. Of course it's cherry picking. It's cherry picking because that's the choices we have. Every game can't and shouldn't be the same thing. But this particular game, it's really fun. You dress her up, right? I took all of her clothes off. And this is as naked as I can get her, but as she takes damage, her clothes get ripped. Her panties and stuff get ripped, right? But you also, when you find save rooms, you can find glasses and sexy outfits and costumes if you want to dress, So it's exactly what you can change the size of her boobs, the size of her waist. You can zoom in on her. There's a photo mode. It's also a genuinely fun video game. And it's called The Killing Antidote, not anecdote. Every time someone tells the story of the guy who fell buying milk at the grocery store, someone dies. You can get the demo on Steam and you can buy it for $24. It's on sale right now. And it's fucking cool so far, at least what I've played. I really like it. And I'm going to buy it based on the demo. And people pushed back and said, well, it's not AAA. That's what we're talking about. And I'm like, okay, but that's everything. Every entertainment medium goes through a phase where it is new and there are few regulations and the audience is small. And eventually it grows to a point where the companies spend more money to make it and thus they have to cast a wider net. Now you can complain about that and that's fine, but you may as well just be complaining about capitalism. That's got nothing to do with wokeism. That has to do with the fact that, companies will do whatever they can to make more money. And they're like, hey, more women, more diverse types are playing our games now. It's not 1991 anymore. It's not 2001 anymore, where it's just a bunch of fucking 15-year-old white dudes playing PlayStation 1. It's just not. But the reality is, though, this game looks good. I mean, I'm sorry if you look at this. Now, I haven't finished it, so I don't know. The reviews are very positive. I haven't seen any reviews. I went over to Metacritic. It's been out for a few months. I haven't seen any reviews of this game. But, you know, if you know, I look at this and I go, really, this isn't good enough for you? What, it doesn't have the ray tracing. Okay, well, you know what? You can't go see Marvel and see tits and ass either. Or you can't go see Marvel and when Thor cuts Thanos' head off, you don't end up with just like something that would be at home with Art the Clown and Terrifier. That's how all business works. It's got nothing to do with video games and wokeism. It has to do with money. So yes, I understand. Yes, you're not going to see Horizon look like this, but you never will again. You never will again. The more something costs, the wider the net has to be. It applies to business in general. It's, you know, it's the same. You want to open up McDonald's everywhere. Most of the food you serve has to be beloved or it's not worth the money. You want to have a mom and pop shop that sells boba based on your mom's amazing recipe before she died. And this is the way you respect her and people love it. Cool. But don't act like you're going to have a fucking franchise worth multiple billions because you're not. Anyway, this looks great. I'm looking forward to it. So what level of fidelity are people after? I couldn't tell you. Hang on.
Hello.
Okay. But anyway, I don't know what fidelity. I couldn't tell you. But I'm with you, Controller Sports. They don't deserve to play good games. Fuck them, right? I'm just like, these games are out there. And again, they're not all grifters. Like, to be fair to Vera Dark, she plays. I know she plays games. She wouldn't fit in this bucket. But a lot of them, you got to wonder, do you guys even play games? I know you got a computer. I see you streaming. You got to have a computer for that. In the at least case, these people, do you fucking play games? Look at this fucking thing. What are you talking about? I mean, and you literally can, you know, put whatever the fuck you want on her. Make her sexy time, change her hair, change her boobs, put in her pantyhose, whatever the fuck you want. It's crazy. All right, let's get to the news that I've been teasing for a while. I'm thrilled most people play AAA games. Most people go to big budget studio movies, but they also know what to expect. And they go, yeah, we're not going to get the TNA and the gore in the Avengers. Sorry, it's not what it is. I didn't, Kevin, I'm not, really, Kevin, come on. You're a lifer so far. I didn't ignore your question. I didn't see it. I was talking about something else. I directed the first God of War. I was the creative director on the second God of War. It had nothing to do with the third one. The game can sound like a dud if you want, but it's a demo. Go play it. Let me know what you think. I'm having fun with it. Okay. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. I got this figured out, I think. And I'm excited for this. Okay. I know some of you guys are probably not going to like what I'm going to say. If you don't know what we're talking about, this is Amy Hennig's new game. I think it's 2025. And it's basically Captain America and the Black Panther in World War II. And there's also a member of Nick Fury's Howling Commandos, and I think like a behind enemy lines French female soldier or some such. And you play all four characters. And I think most people would look at this and think this is going to be an action adventure game. This is going to be a third person, Uncharted, Star Wars Outlaws kind of open world or semi-open world action adventure. I don't think that for a number of reasons, and not the least of which is a interview with Amy that came out. And I'm going to lay out my trail of breadcrumbs. I don't know this for sure, but I want to state my case. I want to argue my case, and I want you to tell me if you think if you think I'm correct in terms of what this is going to be. Okay. But here is her talking. Well, first off, here's what I think it's going to be. Let me not bury the lead there. I think this is going to be somewhere between, not as interactive as, Quantum Dream games, probably more like Telltale games mixed with As Dusk Falls, right? I think this is going to be very easy for people to play. It's probably going to have co-op where you can sit around with your family and people do different things on their phones and on a controller, so your grandma can play it during Christmas. It's meant to be that kind of thing. And how far they go and what they're able to pull off. I don't think it's going to be just a bunch of quick time events, but I do not think you're going to be able to run around as Captain America and climb and this and that and the other. It might. I don't have any data except the breadcrumbs. Let me share the breadcrumbs with you first, okay? Let's go way back in time. This is even before Amy joined, and I like this, by the way. I get you may not like it, but I like this. I think, listen to Amy's vision. This is her and Tim Schafer talking at DICE a while back, well before she joined whatever this company is, Sky something or whoever's making this. What are these guys called? Skydance New Media. Okay, this is her and Tim Schafer talking like maybe 1 or 2 years before regarding what she wanted to achieve. Okay. And again, I get you may not like it, but I think the game's going to be great. I think Amy's super talented. And I think if she can pull this off, it can make a lot of changes. So let's just watch. It's like a minute and a half. Hey, Cal, can you shut that door? I'm almost done, but I want to hear. Thanks, buddy. All right, so here it is. This is her talking about her vision.
More of that. How do we actually design for that? This phenomenon playing, and it's not that the rest of the people are there starting to make things for them now. And storytelling possibilities there. I just think it's a tough business model. But I find myself most fascinated by this feeling like there is a huge shift coming in 2 to 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, where our content is going to be able to reach people a lot more frictionlessly than in the past. And it's going to reach a much bigger audience, and we should be starting to make things for them now. Mm-hmm. And I look at what we've learned anecdotally, the phenomenon that we've seen with games like Uncharted and The Last of Us, and Supermassive Saw is a very similar phenomenon with Until Dawn, where the games are just as watchable as they are playable. And I don't mean like some, Twitch streaming or a YouTube, playthrough. I mean like they are just as entertaining to be in the living room while someone is playing. And it's not that the rest of the people are there as passive observers, they're collaborators.
And some of them are better that way. I mean, like, I thought, I was playing Until Dawn, I thought it was great, and then I played it with a group of people who were all yelling at, what to do, and it was like, oh, this is how you're supposed to play this game.
Exactly, right? And so those of us in the game industry have seen this effect, this phenomenon, and we're aware of it, but we haven't necessarily embraced it to say, how do we actually make more of that? How do we actually design for that? And understanding that, like, trying to convert people that don't consider themselves gamers, there's so many obstacles for them. Are they going to buy the console? Even when somebody else bought it and it's sitting there, do they understand, which input to turn on? Are they intimidated by it? Do they want to touch that, 15, 20 button controller? It looks like a porcupine sitting on your coffee table. It's incredibly intimidating. And then you add onto that the fact that, because we think of gaming a certain way, that we're making things that are, they're difficult, they're a little bit hard to approach. It's about mastery, it's about competition, all these things that, like, a mainstream audience who just wants to settle in and experience a story don't necessarily want all those things. And so maybe we just, in that sense, you get away from the word game and you think about more like taking what we know how to do and make these much more accessible experiences for people that would probably welcome interactivity if we made it for them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's the gist. This is her talking. Now, again, everything and all of it and everything are the same thing. Some of it or everything could have changed since this. This is before she joined as the head of Skydance New Media, right? Okay, but that's the first breadcrumb, okay? The second one is if you look at this interview that just dropped this week with Entertainment Weekly, they just talk about the characters and the settings and all that, but then she has this quote. And I'm reading into this. It may not mean what I think it means, but it was an interesting thing for someone as experienced as Amy to say without meaning exactly what she said. So while Marvel, this is the article. While Marvel can get pretty fantastical, especially when leaning into the multiverse, Hennig notes that their mission is to keep the game as grounded as possible. Here's the line. We're entirely CG, so it's really easy to get ungrounded real quick, she says. You can see even the movies can fall under that trap. Too much CG and you don't know the ground that you're standing on. We really wanted the visual fidelity to be high, so you could kind of forget you're looking at a game, that it should feel and look and sound and smell like you're watching a great movie from Marvel or TV show, but it's you who's driving the action, right? So that, along with what she said to Schaefer, along with if you go to Skydance New Media, this is what they say. We're joining forces with the best IP partners in the world to create story-driven action-adventure experiences that focus on mystery, exploration, blah, 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 okay? Our first productions will tap into the traditions of adventure cinema to create an engaging, energetic experience that captures the spirit of TV and film to excite both longtime gamers and non-gamers alike. By challenging established design dogma and exploring new genres, mechanics, and means of player input, we believe we will see an explosion of creative, interactive experiences that are inviting and appealing to everyone, expanding our audience by an order of magnitude. We've assembled a core internal team of industry professionals who are working closely with external best-in-class partners in every specialty and discipline, right? And then if you go over to LinkedIn, I mean, LinkedIn, they're a really small group, comparatively speaking. I mean, they only have 11 to 50 employees. Now, could they be outsourcing everything? Sure, possibly. And I'm sure they're outsourcing a lot. But I don't necessarily think that you're going to outsource the heart of a AAA fucking video game, right? So here's what I think it's going to be. And I think this is exciting if they can pull it off. I have never seen it pulled off, but I very much like what she is trying to do. And I've been thinking, I want to make a video. I want to get my family to sit around and play As Dusk Falls. If you don't remember, this was a game that everybody could play. You could play it online or locally with your phone. And it was basically, a lot of it was choose your own adventure. But it was also like little mini games and stuff, but it was meant to be something everyone could play and get immersed in. The problem with it is the art style was terrible and kind of gross looking. And the actual story was not really good, right? So I liked what they were trying to do, but I don't think they had the talent to do it. Similarly, the Justice League just launched a game where you basically play like a mini game, Vampire Survivors, on your phone. And that gives you story tokens that then every week they release a movie or a 20-minute cartoon, and you can vote on what you want to have happen, right? I think a lot of people have tried to merge this and it hasn't worked. But they have the quartering in the game. That's right. Reefer. But I do think if you've got Marvel, if you've got characters that already work in an art style that people are into, people seem to like the trailer that they've seen. And let's assume, I think they have a comic writer writing this. I could be wrong, but let's assume it's well written. And Amy's not a moron. It's not going to just be like, oh, does Black Panther go left or right? I think, it's going to still be compelling. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be something like, you're going to hate this. You're going to think it's stupid. But if everybody's watching it, suddenly I get a random cue ping on my phone and, oh, I'm Captain America at this moment. Okay, it's a mini game. Spin your shield really, 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 really fast. And then at the right moment, you decide when to throw it. I know. Core gamers are going to go, that's not what I'm looking for. But you guys have plenty of things to play. This is what you play with people who are interested in games, curious about games. They come over for the holidays. They like Marvel. The whole family sits around and everybody can engage. Now, is this what she's making? I don't fucking know. This could be, we see it unveiled at the Summer Games Fest or something, and it's like, dude, it's a fucking 4-player, single-player game with 4 characters, and it plays like Spider-Man from Insomniac. I have no idea. But everything, I'm just doing the breadcrumbs. And I do hope she does this. I hope to God she does this. Because again, it's not that I wouldn't want to, they're already making a Black Panther game, right? They're already doing a full-on open world Black Panther game. Some developers doing it, right? this is like going, okay, we're going to try to, we're going to, maybe you could even stream it from Netflix. It doesn't sound like it's going to need a lot of interactive input that has to be immediate. You're going to be getting Blade, right? You're going to be getting all of that anyway. So it's not like you're being denied something. So I think the idea of getting a lot of money to take a very beloved IP and going, let's try to bring more people in. I think that's pretty cool. But again, I'm thinking about it more as like somebody who's pursuing the art form or what could we do? Like imagine if that does become the next big form of storytelling. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but that's what I think it is. We'll know this year. I don't know when it's coming out, but I think I will certainly hear more this year. I tried to get my family to play the PS4 phone games for a few get-togethers, says Rob. It was way too cumbersome to get people to get the app to work. Right. All that stuff has to be seamless. You're absolutely right. When we sit around here and play like Song Pop Party on the Apple, half the time it's like, why isn't my phone connecting, right? But assuming they can take care of that, and it's seamless and it just works, I'm excited for this. I want something new. I like when people take chances, but, who knows? Who knows? We'll see how it goes. All right. All right. Let me check something really quickly. All right. I'll save that for tomorrow, I think. Okay. Well, there you go, fellas. That has been, I have no new news on God of War. No. Listen, that's been the show. That's been Gabbing and Games for the 20th. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Thank you for the super chats, the memberships. Thank you, Gina, for finally calling in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Anthony and JoJo D, for getting her to do it. Thank you, Tech Protect, for watching and giving me some feedback. I appreciate that. And now we're going to go watch TV and hang out. And I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning. But again, remember, I'll be streaming stuff all throughout Christmas, but I got to find something new for that morning slot. I'm not saying we're killing the Jaffe stream, but I want something game-centric that I can also put in there. So if you got any suggestions, hit me up on the Discord. So in the meantime, thank you guys. Be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.